Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing a new F-150 with the Coyote V8. Before we get into this video, I want to give you a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Ford here in Draper for giving me some time with this truck. This one is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Scott. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 16 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, it's kind of raised there in the center. It's hard to see with this white paint, especially in this harsh lighting that we have today. And also on either side, it looks pretty cool. And then you got the new style of headlight design here on the F-150, which I think is also sharp. I like the turn signal indicator here in the center. And then notice we've got kind of like a gray finish there on the grille. We've got the Ford logo, which I said it was a new Ford logo in the last video, and people are like, no, it's not. It does look different, distinctly different compared to before. You can see before, like you can see those two trucks next to each other. So that's new. That's old. You can see the new one's got white lettering, whereas the old one, it's silver lettering, so it is different. But anyways, we got tow hooks, fog lights, all of that. And putting it all together, I think the front end of the new F-150 does look better now that I've seen it in person. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 265, 70, 17 in the front and over in the rear. You can see here with the wheels, you got the silver there, kind of like a metallic finish too, which is cool. F-150 XL. And then notice the satin finish on the mirror caps and then the door handles as well. Got your 4x4 decal there on the back. And then you can see we've got a leaf spring here on either side. And then here's your full side view. This is where you guys can see we've got the 6.5-foot bed, and then we've got the crew cab. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We got the flip out key as well, and then you can see the Ford logo there on the back. And speaking of the back, the tailgate's not dampened, so you do have to use your own willpower to let that down. Anyways, no protection or anything with this particular one from the factory, but lots of bed space, which is a nice thing. And the tailgate's light. It's easy to lift up. Again, you got the new Ford logo there. You can see the new taillight design with this as well. Parking sensors on the bumper, and then got the little exhaust tip poking out the side. And putting it all together, let me guys think about the looks here with the new F-150. Now popping inside, a little bit more basic with the material use with this truck, and then you can see the storage down below. And then we've got these cloth seats here. Nice trim all down there, and then you can lift up the seats. A 60-40 split, flat loading floor underneath. Legroom back here is good. No storage pockets, interestingly enough, but we do have some charging ports down below. And then headroom, it's also good. With the front door panel, pretty basic with the material use. With the windows though, they are automatic, which is nice. And then you got your mirror adjustments, blind spot running with the mirrors, and then tons of storage down below. Now this is the impressive part of this truck, 2,055 pounds of payload capacity. That is pretty big. And then we've got these cloth seats here. They're manually adjustable. Got all of your light controls here on the side. You can see for the parking brake, and then I like that with the American flag. And of course we got a flip out key, so that's always a fun thing to do. Boom! Now taking a look at the steering wheel, of course, Ford logo there in the center, but we got practical controls here for the center stack. You've got your cruise control here, volume controls as well, turn signal, windshield wiper stock, and then we have a column shifter here with the manual mode. There's an M there on the end for that. But full digital gauge cluster, so you can see different bits of info, and interesting, this is now standard in the base F-150. But anyways, we do have some different drive modes for different uses depending on what you're gonna do with the pickup truck. I imagine most people probably do normal. I like how it actually describes it. Trailering and heavy payload. That's funny. That's actually new. Let's see what they all say. Rough, uneven. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Spirited on-road driving. That's funny. Now in reverse, you can see we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You got that zoom function as well. But yeah, good resolution. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, shortcut bar there on the side. And then with the screen, it responds pretty quickly. It's easy to use overall. And then you do have that for the auto stop start. Can't really see it because the lighting, I mean, you can see it's super bright today. For the camera button up there, and then stability control. Down below, we've got our drive mode / drive line / axle lock set up. So twist for the drive mode, push in for the drive line, and then push that in for the locker. We've got our single zone climate controls, analog radio controls, little charging area with some storage. And this has the bench seat configuration, so this picks up to be a seat. There's some more storage underneath there. Speaking of storage, we got the glove box set up here, 2 glove boxes. And then manual mirror dimmer, no sunroof, no rear sliding window, anything like that. So it's gonna be hard to see because of the glare, but 2024 F-150 XL with the 5.0 V8. XL series, so 103A equipment group for those of you wondering. The 5.0V, it's a no-cost option. You should get it. $52,815. It's total MSRP. I mean, I think it's worth it over the... If it's a no-cost option and I had a choice between the 5.0 V8 and the 2.7 V6, I'm going 5.0 all day. Let's drive it. I got the wrong key at first. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, dual blast warning. Through the rest of the rear. And let us set off. Got to reverse a little bit. Let's try not to hit into this tree. And yeah, let's see how the 5.0 performs. I was actually surprised when I saw this here today because I was expecting to use a 2.7 truck for the comparison because I thought that's all there was going to be, but Ford Draper ordered a 5.0, which good on them. I think that this is the powertrain that more people should go for. Don't get me wrong, I love the 3.5. I think it's a great powertrain, but just the sounds that this makes and the reliability, it's just such a good powertrain. And it's not as economical as the EcoBoost, but it's not bad. 1624, that's not bad ratings at all. So first off, I will say seat comfort's good. Suspension over the speed bumps, pretty, I mean, for a base model work truck, that's pretty nice. Did a pretty good job of the damping. This engine's smooth too. Yeah, listen to that. Okay, I'll be quiet so you don't have to hear my voice. You can just listen. Just get the rumbles. When we get our full acceleration in a little bit, you guys will be able to hear a little bit more of the glory of this powertrain. But oh man, it's such a clean sound. It's really cool what they've done here. And this truck drives well. I mean, the suspension's pretty dang comfortable. Seats are, you know, not the most comfortable in this segment, but they're good enough. Like, they're not uncomfortable by any means. They're comfortable enough. And it just drives well. And you know, wind noise is not too bad. Like, it's pretty decently insulated. It's a nice experience overall. It's a nice experience overall. And it's easy to drive. You know, this is the bigger cab and the longer bed. And it's not like, oh man, I feel like I'm driving an HD truck. It still drives like a half ton. It's still easy. Well, let's hear that 5.0. 5.0 V8, such a good sound. And the power is great. Again, if you don't know, over 4,000 feet elevation, this thing is just a rock star. Naturally aspirated power. It's beautiful. So, to cap things off with the new F-150 with the 5.0, just go drive one. Just go drive one. It's a no-cost option, right? And I know some people they'll die on the hill of the 3.5 and the 2.7. I am not that person. I don't have any bias, you know, one way or the other. I just like what drives well. And this engine is just, it sounds so good, and you've got that V8 naturally aspirated reliability. And you know, I wouldn't necessarily say like long-term, actually I think long-term, the resale on these are probably going to be better. Now again, this isn't like a collector car or anything like that, but I can just imagine if I was looking at a truck that was 10, 15 years old, and if one had a twin turbo V6 and the other had a 5-liter V8, I'm probably going to feel more comfortable purchasing the 5-liter V8 naturally aspirated, because I'm going to be like, oh, it's more simplistic. It's less stuff to go wrong. So let me know what you guys think about the 5.0 Ford, but super underrated powertrain. I think more people, if they actually drove this powertrain, I think more people would go for it, even though it doesn't have the same crazy torque numbers and horsepower of the EcoBoost. It's got the same horsepower as the EcoBoost, but not the same crazy torque. It's a blast.